Something that has always been a big part of my journey is mental health. And I have talked about my depression and my sobriety a couple of times on my channel. Feel free to go and check those videos out if you feel called to. And today I want to share my experience of going on anxiety and depression medication. So of course, this is something that I cannot recommend. I'm not a professional, but this is my journey, and I found that by asking around, asking friends and even colleagues at work, that I have found something that works for me, and it's completely changed my life in just a matter of a couple of months. So the beginning of this year, I went to my doctor and I was like, I'm feeling incredibly low, and I had been depressed before, and what basically got me out of that huge depressive stage was changing my life, which I cannot do to the same extent now, and I don't want to as well. It was a big upheaval of everything, and I'm very happy with where I'm at now. So that wasn't an option. And I was like, look, I understand that going back to therapy and going on medication is something that could definitely help me. So I started on Zoloft because a couple of friends had been on that. And this is in Australia. I'm not sure if they have the same in the US or wherever else you guys are. Feel free to do some research on that. But I was on Zoloft 50 milligrams, and basically I could only last 3 days. I took a few days off work because I knew that I was going to be a transition, but I had fever, I had sweats. I woke up in the mornings in a panic attack. Like I felt like I was having a heart attack almost, because I was just like in it, and it was a really rough way to wake up. It was horrible, and my partner was just like, you can't do this. And I tried one more night, it happened again, and I was like, I can't wake up like this again. So I immediately stopped, and basically it took me a couple more months to approach the doctor again and go, okay, it didn't work for these reasons, what can we try now? So now I am on Lexapro, and I started off with just 10 milligrams, and that was great. It was just a few little side effects of like feeling a bit nauseous, and it was good to take a couple of days off work. I felt a little bit like woozy at work as well. It was a little bit like I'm not quite here, a bit lightheaded. And then I upped to 20 about a week ago, and it's just been so incredible. I had none of those side effects. I had my period at the same time. I timed it with that, so I already had a few days off work for my bleed, which I always like to do, and I started taking the medication at the same time. So it did screw up my period a little bit. I was due, and then it basically straight away stopped it for a week. So I was working again, which was a bit rough, and then had to take a few more days off work because I started my bleed later, and so on and so forth. So that could have happened for a variety of reasons, I guess. And in the end, it was fine. I've adjusted now, and I had a normal bleed, and then a couple of spotting days afterwards. We'll just see how the next month goes, I guess, and see if my cycle can get back on track. I was taking it at nighttime, and I felt like it was giving me a little bit of insomnia, so I just started taking it in the mornings, and I find it helps give me clarity, but it also gives me a bit of like, I want to go out a bit more, I want to do a bit more stuff, but I'm also quite tired from recovering from those insomnia nights. So it's a little bit all over the place, but in terms of my happiness levels, which is what I did it for, yeah, like it's amazing. It's really amazing, and I feel a lot more calm. I don't feel as like high strung and stressed, which I used to be just all the time. I was from my childhood, basically. Went through a lot of trauma as a kid and a young adult, and still recovering from that, to be honest. And yeah, I start therapy next Monday again. So very happy with where I'm at, and I'm going to stay there for a while unless my psychologist recommends anything different. And we're in the middle of winter, so I feel like as it kind of gets more warmer and sunnier here, I probably won't need to go up and maybe eventually I can go down in the dosage as well. But Lexapro is working well. I'm just getting the generic version whenever they have at the doc. And yeah, it's just, that's been my experience. So if you have any questions about my experience, feel free to jot them below, or if you have anything you want to share, I'm always open if you want to jot them below, or message me on Instagram at @KalilyCan. And yeah, feel free to reach out anytime. Enjoy the rest of your tea or coffee, and I will see you soon. Bye.